So going over to April Rose. So I know where you were, but maybe tell all these beautiful people like what was happening in your life? What was life like before we met?
Ooh, I what my son was maybe 2 or 3 at the time. My God, now he's 7. Um, my son was like 2 or 3 when we met, or when I started, I guess, really stalking you on social media before I finally, paid for my first course. Um, I felt like I was living Groundhog Day, day after day after day. I was going to work, dropping Bryson off at school or daycare, going to work, picking him up, coming home, and that was my day. And I just was a shell of a person. Um, I cried a lot. I was very unhappy. I hated who I was. I hated my body. I was very uncomfortable to be around people. I didn't like talking on the phone, and part of my job was talking on the phone. Um, and I convinced my boss to do most of the talking on the phone so I could just do the paperwork stuff. Um, and I had a lump in my throat, and the doctors kept telling me it's just anxiety. It's just anxiety. And I kept pushing back. It's not anxiety, it's something else. And I joined my first program with you. And by the third call, you called me in very lovingly. And after bawling my eyes out, the lump completely went away. There's obviously points where we need doctors in our lives, and this was more about I wasn't speaking what I needed to say. I just kept stuffing it down and stuffing it down. And then with COVID, and I was just stuffing everything inside that it just wanted to come out and it couldn't. And with Karina's help, I have found my voice. I speak proudly. I ask for what I want. I mean, my husband surprised me with coffee before this event. So, um, yeah, it's just completely different. I never knew that this life could ever exist. And I wanted it to. I felt like there was something, and I would never share my dreams with anyone until you saw them without me saying a word.
It's my special gift. But I
It's
think
true.
I don't know if everybody can see. All of us are over here going, yeah, you know. Um, but anyone, y'all should follow this woman. She teaches you to love your body and to like to listen and to your body and know your body and love your body as she is. And anyone who like sees you now, because you're so vocal on social media and you go out there and you create and you sell out programs all, to women loving their bodies. And it's like to imagine that there was ever a time when you wouldn't speak. You didn't want to speak to anyone.
Yeah.
To see you now is like so incredible. And now you're an amazing coach in your own right. And one of the things that you said is like that I lovingly called you in because I would see you sitting and not talking up in a class and be like, "Oh no, you're not getting away with that here."
Yeah, I didn't. I mean, those first few calls, I almost didn't even come to the first call because I was too scared, like to be in a group, to be um around other women. I had like the freak out of like, what did I just get myself into? And then my husband said, no, you paid for it. You're going on the first call. And life has been way more magical than I ever imagined it to be.
Thank you, April Rose, for sharing your beautiful, magical journey. I'm so grateful.